right, everybody, Real Pro fans. I hope everyone is enjoying themselves, getting ready for the holiday season. I'm Corey C4. This is the very first time I've ever done anything like this. I was just talking to our guest about that. And our guest today, the one, the only member of House of Spades, Bobby Chrono. Bobby
Boy,
Chrono, it's
Bobby
great to have you.
Chrono.
That's right. How you doing, bud?
No, I'm doing all right. I just got out of work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to the upcoming holiday season, but what I'm really looking forward to is Real Pro coming back in
I
March
can't wait,
because
man.
Real Pro, it's like a piece of me has been missing. I don't know what it is. I guess it's just the fact that they give me the free reign to beat up Sean Hawley whenever the hell I want. And that is
Oh,
one of my favorite things to do.
we'll definitely be talking more about that. That was some interesting turn of events the last couple months in Real Pro, all of that, and we will get to that. Trust me. But that's great to hear that things are going well at the moment for you. Well, before we get into any of the meat of the interview here, let's hear what you guys got going on right now. What's going on with the House of Spades right at this moment?
As of late, we got WWN. We've been showing up there a lot more recently. Uh, we may make a couple more appearances, a couple other promotions across Florida. Pro Wrestling Action has been reaching out to us. I've been in contact with a couple other promoters. Not only that, but I do have a couple upcoming shows in Georgia as well. So
Fantastic.
it looks like House of Spades is starting to grow. We're trying to grow our membership and bring in more more people into
Hey,
our
you want
our
as many
flock.
eyes as you can get, yeah, on you. That's the goal, right? You want to draw as many people as you can to, and you know, from what
Isn't
I've
that
seen, you
always
guys
the
are
goal
pretty good
though?
at that.
That's
That's what I
always the
think.
goal.
Yeah, that's what I've always been told. That's the story I've always heard. Well, that's great. Great, good to hear, and I'm really looking forward to Real Pro getting back to. It's been kind of a lull, and I'm enjoying a little bit of the time off, but I can't wait to get right back into that. I'm excited for March. Um, so let us get into some of the little basic questions here. The easy stuff, basically. Kind of like how you got into professional wrestling, not necessarily how you got into wrestling, the business, but as far as as a kid, did you watch it as a kid? Did you get into it later on, or
Well, okay. So I originally started watching wrestling around the time I was about 6 or 7,
okay?
and I was actually kind of petrified of it
Okay.
because it just so happened to be the same night that WWE went ahead with their plan to unmask Kane. And
Oh, what a night to start!
me being 6 or 7, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with his face? Oh my god.
I've never
Oh,
seen anything like this.
that's just scared. And then afterwards, I kind of was like, yeah, I don't think that's for me. And then it was kind of like right around the time when it was Thanksgiving 2008. I actually had like a really rough time. Like something happened within my family, and I had went into like one of our back rooms and I had turned the TV on, and the TV only worked on certain channels. Spike TV happened to be that channel, and TNA was showing, and I
Oh,
was
okay.
like, okay, let me watch this stuff. Watched it for a bit, and I was like,
Then you saw Abyss, and you were like, "Not again."
no, Abyss. Funny that you bring him up. I've met him a couple times. He's actually really nice, but um, it wasn't like that at all. I was just like watching it, and for the first time in a very, very long time, I had
Mhm.
just like for that whole day, I had
So it was
kind of
almost brand new
forgotten.
to you again.
Yeah, it was brand new, but like it was the first thing that made me kind of forget everything else that was going on around.
Oh, I feel like I got you. Yeah, okay.
So I was like, if that makes me feel that way, maybe I should be watching that more often. My mom hated that I watched wrestling too. So I would watch it, and then all throughout high school, I was like, guys, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna wrestle. And everybody looked at me and they were just like,
Sure.
that's funny. That's hilarious. Sure.
Yeah.
And then I got to college and I was like, guys, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna wrestle, but I don't know where to start training. And then I had a friend who had reached out to me and was like, hey, I have a guy down in Fort Lauderdale. You can start training down there. So I started down here originally, or down there originally. Then when I came back up to Orlando, I found a couple different schools and was working through them.
Okay. Who are your trainers?
Um, I started out, I was training with Alex Porto for a little bit.
Okay.
And then when I went back, I had a couple little private training sessions with Matt Morgan. And over time, I ended up going back and I started training again with Simon Gotch.
Okay. Right on. Very cool. Very cool.
Right. Yeah. Right now, I'm working with the Puerto Rican Hound Dog.
Oh yeah.
He's actually been helping me out a lot. He's phenomenal.
I've seen him as a fan at a few shows back in the day. So yeah, no, that's a nice little crew you got there showing you the ropes, and it's been, you can tell from my vantage point at the commentating booth, it's been very easy to see you progress in your career. As I mean, you've only been doing this for like a couple years now, 2, 3, 4 years, something like that.
I actually started training a long time ago, but I actually started having my first like couple matches within the last like year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah. Okay.
I started training forever ago, but
Did you do like ref jobs and stuff in between and things like that?
Yeah, and it was more so like I had this sense of doubt that I was just like, if I went out into the ring, I would just go out there and embarrass myself.
Yeah, so you had to get past that self-doubt.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, hell, man, I can tell you for sure that you've gotten past it, because every time I see you in the ring, it's always a lot of fun watching you improve each time too.
I have a lot of fun out there, and I think that's probably like one of like my biggest motivators.
Yeah.
Is I'm gonna go out into the ring, and no matter what, I'm gonna just go out. I'm gonna talk to my opponent beforehand, let them know, hey, this isn't personal, but I'm going out there. I'm going all in.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the best part, because when I get out there, I'm just kind of get in this zone where I'm just like, all right, this is it. This is what I'm here for. This is what I came to do. I know it may not be true more times than not, but in my head, I'm like, I'm going to give it 110% and act like I'm the match of the night, no matter what.
Absolutely. Well, that's the way, I've never had the opportunity to get into the ring myself, but I've always heard from wrestlers and other talent that have been doing it. And that's usually the sentiment that I hear. And I've heard it enough times that I think that's exactly the way it should be. It should be going on when you're getting in there. You should be having a time of your life and trying to have the best match of the night. So.
Oh, always.
Yeah, definitely. And you've had plenty of those in Real Pro. And we'll talk more about that again here shortly. But you've been what's most recently? You got some. You guys got some tag gold Division Pro, correct? Is that who you are?
It was a Riot Pro, actually. Riot Pros. Yeah. Riot Pro Tag Team Champions. We ended up winning the tag titles in a match against Critical Mayhem.
That's right.
So okay. What ended up happening was everybody knows what happened with Zach. It's unfortunate. Yeah. And us and Zach, we may not see eye to eye all the time because that's part of Unsafe Order.
Okay, you guys have had your issues with Unsafe Order, yeah.
It's more so we have our issues with Booyah, and Booyah being a part of Unsafe Order. You just happen to have an issue with us by proxy.
Exactly, so, I understand that for sure.
Zach ended up having to vacate the tag titles, which was unfortunate for him. But we ended up, picking up what he put down, and end of the night, ended up the Riot Pro Tag Team Champions. And as you guys can see, that was a very fun match.
It was a blast. The things that I saw clips of it. I was only able to see clips, but the clips I saw, I was you guys, like I said, you guys impress me every time you're in the ring. So anytime I'm seeing you guys doing your thing, it's always, I may sound like I'm supposed to be the unbiased commentator, but I'm always
I listen to your commentary and I'm like, That's so cool.
I even had I have the professional wrestlers saying that I need to put them over like I put you guys over. So
They good, but they're not us. I mean, they're
Ooh.
real good. Trust me, they're good. There's a reason why they have those Real Pro Tag Team Championships.
Hmm.
But we might talk about that later. They ain't us.
I
There's a
think
reason
so.
why they had to kind of butt into our match. But
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about the bros soon too. We will get that shortly as well. So, but it's been a hell of a 2022 for you guys, and you've really kind of come a long way. Your partner Ray Zion got the Florida Classic Cup, and that's a pretty nice piece of hardware that he got to take home a few months back at Real Pro. So
dude,
you guys are getting accolades after accolades.
I think I think it's just the start of something that you guys are gonna have to get used to seeing because we get a lot of comments, a lot of people are talking about us, and regardless of if it's good or bad, that means people are paying attention to us. So we must be doing something right if we have this much attention on us.
Absolutely.
And that's the one thing that I'm gonna say about that. Because when me, Ray, and Carlos Wolf got together, we ended up kind of happening to form by circumstance. We were kind of thrown into an environment where all of us were kind of hung out to dry, and we didn't like that. We didn't like that at all. So we got together and we were like, let's do what we are going to do originally, but let's just all put all of this combined, just anger and frustration, just
Oh,
being
into the same
overlooked,
direction.
just tunnel that all into one
Yeah.
common focus. And with that, that's why we are so we're such a fierce unit.
You're cohesive. You got that. You definitely got that cohesive unit. One of the things that's always brought up on commentary, at least from my vantage point, is the numbers game that you guys have and how well you use that to your advantage, whether people like it or not. You know what I mean? You guys use that to your advantage because you know, and you're so in sync with each other that it's very prevalent. You can see it.
All I gotta say is don't bring a knife to a gunfight. If I have my extra weapons, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to use them because I'm in a
Right.
fight, right? This is a
Definitely.
fight. They're not gonna just let me get beat up the whole time, and that goes for me doing the same for them.
No.
So y'all kind of just gotta watch y'all's back. If we find an opportunity, we're gonna take it. There's no reason for us not to. We're not nice people.
Right. Yeah. No. Like I said, I try to stay unbiased. I don't always agree with the way you guys handle things, but I always respect that you guys are at least consistent.
Why
So
change any? Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
that's true. That's true. But I'm loving. I love every minute of the House of Spades that comes up. But real quick, all right. So we talked a little bit earlier about Sean Hawley. And you, speaking of 2022, you have spent most of 2022 having a pretty heated feud with Sean Hawley, and some interesting things happened the last couple of shows, and in particularly the show that you beat Sean Hawley on, and then Sean Hawley went and became the Real Pro Wrestling Top Crown champion.
I have a lot of questions about that.
Yeah.
I have so many
I'm
questions
curious to
about
hear
it.
what you have to say about all that.
All right. So first of all, I guess congrats to Sean for just happening to be in the right place at the right time because that's all that was. If you look at his opponents in that match, who were his opponents in that match? He had Sideshow, he had Bud Heavy. He shouldn't have won that match. There's no way. There's no way. But he took an opportunity, just like I would have.
Yeah, he can't blame him for that.
I
He
can't
took
blame
what he
him.
could get. Yeah.
He took his opportunity and he made his moment. And he walked out with the biggest gold in all of Real Pro. And that leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. Because realistically speaking, I had Sean dead to rights after our last man standing match. But I let him walk. I let him walk. Remember that. Because if you go back, you watch the video, Go back, watch that.
I watched it earlier
At the
today.
end of the
Yes.
match, I held up the chair and I thought, no, I've done enough. I've already beaten him how many times in his house? I literally show up to his front yard every couple months and I start dog walking him.
Yeah, it was a brutal feud you guys had going on.
And
I can
then
see where that would make leave a bad taste in your mouth, having that, thinking you have that you finally have that victory. I finally did it. And then
part of me blames myself because if I would have just finished the job that night with that chair, he wouldn't have even walked into that match. He wouldn't have been able to walk into that match, let's be completely honest. But I, showing a little bit of mercy, the little bit of kindness that Bobby Chrono has in his heart. Let's see.
Do you think that maybe has is a lesson learned from you now? Is that something that maybe you won't be second guessing yourself again after that?
Definitely not. I mean, I'm definitely not going to be second guessing myself with that one because, in all honesty, that was my fault. Like I said, if Bobby Chrono would have just finished the job like he thought he wanted to, like I first thought I wanted to, then we wouldn't be talking about Sean Hawley as Top Crown champion right now. We may have been
So,
talking about Bobby Chrono as Top Crown champion. Who knows?
well, let's say this, since we are talking about Sean Hawley being Top Crown champion. What, now that you have said what you said here, it sounds very much to me like you have a point that should be listened to. But our general manager, Chris Withick, seems to be on a bit of a power trip right now. If we could
Tripping in the wrong direction. He needs a power trip over my way.
to say it mildly, it's a power trip, and he definitely has his gun sights set on all things Zach Monstar and company, including Sean Hawley. So, do you think maybe you might be able to work yourself into? I mean, maybe that's the way you should go about it now, given
I
the
think
ire. What would you like to see happen from this?
I think Chris, his hubris got the best of him because that's exactly what happened. Because he thought, okay, Sean's not done. Let me finish the job. If he wanted, I could have just finished it for him. All he had to do was ask me.
Oh, interesting.
But I digress.
Yeah, he did.
Now,
He did. He now he's got his alignment with the professional wrestlers. It seems.
yeah, that's cool. But his Top Crown title is around the waist of Booyah Club. So what does that say about him? It seems like his plans haven't been working out very well. It seems like he needs to put Plan Bobby into action, his Plan B. So he needs to put me in a match with a man who I've beaten multiple times, time and time again, and just let me beat him one more time so I can walk away with the Top Crown title, and all will be right in the world.
That is, you've heard it here. I was looking for an exclusive. That's Bobby Chrono. He's challenging directly to general manager Chris Withick. He wants Sean Hawley one more time. He wants that Top Crown championship opportunity. So we'll see what happens out of this. That's a heck of a scoop.
I have wanted it since
Aiming
I saw
high.
it. Oh, of course. But
Yeah.
the only reason why I aim high is because I know that if they put me in a match with Sean, I can beat him. I've done it time and time again. There's no reason for me to doubt myself if I've already beaten the man 3 times. He got lucky one time, and it was in a multiple man match with Josh Wise.
Yeah.
I beat him in February, I beat him in June, and I beat him in September. I can beat Sean basically any season of the year, apparently. So
we'll see what happens in the springtime.
Yeah, Chris, we're coming back in March. Let me come back and beat him again in spring. We got it. Let's do it.
We got time to mull that over. I think I know this will be on the Real Pro YouTube channel, and I'm sure Chris will be watching this, because especially when he learns that we're talking about him, I can't miss an opportunity to anyway. But also, like I said, I mean, I brought up the professional wrestlers. Giovanni the Greatest last night. We're doing this on what's today, the 30th. Well, that's the other thing. Yesterday was your birthday. Yeah, happy belated birthday.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Well, so today, last night, Jordan Pierce Owens, former general manager of Real Pro, former co commentator with me, Jordan. Everybody knows Jordan.
Yeah.
So Jordan had a nice little chat with Giovanni the Greatest. Had a little chit chat, and it was brought up that once again the professional wrestlers were the tag team champions or not tag team champions. Well, they are the tag team champions, but the tag team of the year for 2022.
2 times in a row, huh?
2 times in a row, and this is going to be a little bit of something from that interview.
Let's see.
It's I'm just interesting. It's just going to be interesting to see what kind of what you think of this here. This is Giovanni the Greatest on kayfabe corner with Jordan Pierce Owens last night.
Other fans and your peers.
You hear that now?
Everyone could have voted.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't help I don't want to say it was via a landslide either, but I'm not gonna not. I guess I need a new medal. This 2021.
It's a little farther back than I had it before.
You're gonna need a new medal. You're gonna rock the 2 medals here. So awesome. Yes, that is exclusive. That will be posted here in a little bit too on the Real Pro page. Ooh. There you go.
Awesome. We have a better connection than they do.
Shouts out to Justin.
Oh yeah. That is what happens when you have to film in your mom's basement.
Yeah, so we'll see that here in a little bit. Here, everyone watching sees it now. So yeah, congratulations on 2 years running. We got House of Spades. Okay, the Bruiserweights. I like those guys. Financially stable and Exodus. Yeah, man. Shouts out to Exodus. Okay. Shouts out to Bud Heavy too. And House of Spades, man. House of Spades. They're coming up. As I believe Corey C4 might actually be interviewing them pretty soon here on the Real Pro page. Hey, I think he should put us over a little bit more, but he should. I mean, come on, Corey.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
Yeah.
So anyway, as you can see, you got the goods that time? Yes.
Okay. All right, I got it. Okay.
Like I was saying a minute ago. Okay, now he mentions you guys are good up and comers. You're coming on up, and then he it leads me to the whole thing about Ray, which got me this idea to get you guys on here in the first place. And Ray was asking maybe the bros are ducking the House of Spades, and you might want some more tag team gold.
It's like what Jordan said, like he's not gonna say one thing, but it may be one thing, We had our tag team title match. It was originally announced that it would be us versus, at the time it was Eden's Gate, now the Bruiserweights. It was supposed to be me and Ray versus Bud and Sweet. So I was like, all right, cool. This is going to be awesome. Here we go. We got a good, fair shot at winning this tag team titles. And then we find out like a week before, the professional wrestlers weaseled their way into our match. And I was like, it's cool. That just means that we got to deal with them too. It doesn't matter to us because realistically speaking, we're on fire right now. We're hot.
Absolutely.
We got this. This is us. And somehow they just happened to have the better night. They were just this much more cunning than us. I'm going to give it to the cunning because there's not any way that they were any faster than us. They weren't stronger than us. Like you see, I have a tank on my
stronger
side.
Than you guys. Yeah.
I have a tank on my side.
Right.
Like it didn't help that Bud Heavy was in the match because realistically speaking, we had Bud dead to rights. And
that's true.
If you go back and you watch that match, I didn't get pinned. Ray didn't get pinned.
No.
Bud got pinned, right?
Yeah.
All right. So my question for you and everybody else that may watch this interview is, why haven't we gotten our rematch yet?
It's a good
Because we
question.
won a number one contenders tag team title match back in February
That's true.
for our shot at those tag titles. That wasn't our one-on-one match that we were promised. So I think we're still owed a title shot. I think we've been owed a title shot for a good minute now. And I think that the professional wrestlers, since they're so friendly with Chris with a K, they've been using that to kind of get out of any possible meeting with the House of Spades. So maybe they are ducking us. Who knows? I'm not going to say that they are. Maybe it just so happens that Tiny Tana Lee and Brian Atomic got a title shot before us.
They are good. They are a good tag team, but
they're a great tag team.
But they certainly were a debuting tag team.
But let's think about this. Who's been the homegrown tag team for Real Pro other than the professional wrestlers as of late?
I agree. It's the House of Spades.
It's been us.
Absolutely.
The House of Spades. So why is it that we got jumped over completely? And I still don't have one of them blue titles around my waist. I want one.
Maybe 2023 is going to be that year for you, Bobby, because it sounds like you guys have some big plans for Real Pro Wrestling in the House of Spades. Does you've got a claim, or at least you've got a legitimate.
I have a legitimate claim on 2 titles.
That's right. You got a legitimate claim on 2 titles. That top row title,
2 titles,
and
shots.
the tag titles. So it looks like you got a lot of negotiating to do. I know you guys are very shrewd negotiators. We've seen it before. And I know that something is going to go your way. You have a tendency of making things happen.
That's the plan. We hope so.
Yeah.
Or else there may be dire consequences.
Oh, that. Well, I hope I will stay as far away from those dire consequences as I can, because I only want the best for the House of Spades.
Of course, and we know you're always safe. But what do you do when you're owed so much and it doesn't seem like you're gonna get it?
I'll give it here again. Again, I'm supposed to be unbiased, but with Chris with a K especially, I'd like to see him maybe get his own. And since maybe the bros are ducking and he has some influence, maybe I'll just nudge him in the right direction. And I don't have a whole lot of stroke in this business, but I might use what I can to do what I can.
We'll see what happens, because in the next couple months, Ray and I and Wolf, we may be doing a little bit of negotiating with Chris ourselves.
Oh, there we go. Well, there you go. You heard it. If I could talk, you could hear it here first. You heard it here first. This was exclusively Corey C. Ford being a broadcast journalist right here on the Real Pro Wrestling YouTube
completely unbiased
channel.
And right down the middle.
Straight down the middle. Certainly, definitely not skewed in the House of Spades direction at all. Like, I mean, come on. I'm a respected broadcast journalist. I'm the babyface on commentary.
Oh, of course. You're not on our payroll or anything.
Not at all. Bobby, it was a pleasure to have you on here as the very first guest of this. Hopefully we'll be continuing it, but you'll always be the very first one if we do. And it was awesome talking to you. It's always a pleasure to see you and chat with you at shows. And it's been a great time having you here too. I wish nothing but the best for you and the rest of the House of Spades.
We appreciate you, and I appreciate you having me on here.
Thank you. Any plugs, anything else you want to put out there before we get going? Any, social media tags, whatever you want to get out there.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Instagram at 0 Days Without Incident, the actual number 0 Days Without Incident. Facebook, it'll be www.facebook.com/OhNoBobbyChrono. There are also other ways to reach us. I'll go ahead and post that so that you can share that for us. I'll share the links for Ray as well as for Wolf, because I know for a fact that they also would love to have anybody come through and just just support the house
Absolutely, yeah.
because we're always looking for more supporters. We got a big house,
Got to build it up. Got to build
got
it
a
up,
lot
and
of
I
rooms.
have no doubt you will fill those rooms. I will do my best and my part to help fill those rooms as well, my friend. So thanks again for being here, Bobby Chrono. Everyone else watching right now, get ready. Real Pro Wrestling is coming back your way in a couple of months with all the action.
Fifth.
That's right. We will see you then. I'm Corey C4. Everyone have a good evening, day, whatever the time it is you're watching this. Take care now. Bye,
Sure.
man.